They're both practically the same bike. It was the Tenere 700. That's what I remember. They're practically the same bike. Look at that. That's an Africa Twin. That's a 700. There's like a little bit of difference, but they're practically the same. So that's a 750. That's a 700. Okay. Oh, they got 1100. But style wise, they're about the same. Hmm. So yeah, Yamaha and Honda. What about well, Coway's going to be the KLR. It's going to be the closest thing to it. Let me see. Let's see what their lineup is. They got the Versys, but that's a 300. The 650. Okay. Is that a twin? That is a twin. Okay, so it's smoother, I guess. Or the old KLR, take a lick and keep on the ticking. So they got the Versys lined up. KLX 700. That's just a if. See, this is what we're talking about. They'll come out with a 500, and they put it on such a heavy frame, so it's kind of like, hey, a 500, and then it's like, you know, we would like a 500 with a light chassis. They just will not do that. They always make three lineups of bikes. It's the super light but underpowered, which would be the one that everybody wants is the super light but with power. Then they'll take and do a 650. All right, got power, and then they put this chunky frame behind it, and it just reduces it down to nothing. And then if you get the big adventure bikes, the ones with all the power, they're not only stupid expensive, but it's all the shit that you really don't want. It's too heavy to lug around. Like the shit you're wanting to get into, you really can't. And I mean, let's be realistic. Not everybody's going to do some of the wild shit you see on here. So, especially when it comes to your own money and you're not making money from sponsors and shit. So this is just like my bike. Same color, same everything. That was my bike. Yeah, I put mine through hell and back. I almost got the 300. Or I got that 300 L, the CRF. Oh, this is the first adventure bike I ever had right here. Same color. Bare bones base. I loved it. Loved every bit of it. Yeah, I almost got the KLX 300. It does have a better suspension than the Honda. Probably should have went that route, but you couldn't get your hands on them at the time. You could barely get your hands on a CRF, let alone a KLX. And then people were taking they would buy them out at a dealership and then turn around and charge more for them, selling them on marketplace. I'm like, what the fuck? Damn. They'd get them, ride them probably about 30 miles, turn around and sell them on marketplace, trying to get like 7-8 grand for them. Yeah, didn't even give that at the dealership. Uh, Man, everybody's been going off about the CF motos. I don't know. I just don't know, man. Because the Chinesium stuff, you really got to be careful. Yeah, the IBX 450. They got some of these down the road from me. I looked at them, but it's like when I'm looking at them, I can still see the Chinesium. See how thin that frame is? In person, it's really thin, and then you start looking closely at the welds and whatnot, and you're like, "Ugh." And they still want a penny for them. It's not like they're cheaper. They're still pretty high. I've seen these up there, and it's like when you start peeling back the layers, and you start looking at the plastics and all that, like behind the plastics, and you're like, I don't know, don't know about that. I imagine with time the quality will come, but I don't know if I can trust it now. Yeah. And this is always something. Boom. Because why? Boom. Hmm. Let's put fire behind it. Yeah, that'll sell it. uh, yeah. Would I take it cross country? I don't think so. You'd have a better time, I think, getting a part for a Honda, for a Cowie, for a Yamaha. You'd have a better chance of getting a part for those than you ever would a CF Moto. They're getting a dealership network, don't get me wrong, but it's not that great. So sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. It's my experience dealing with Chinesium shit. Damn. I need to turn that volume down a little bit. Yeah, it was like maxing out into the red. I just caught that. Mm. Small bike, big fun. Less power than your lawnmower? No. Absolutely not. It's like a Grom, man. I rode one Grom before, and all it took was that one ride to tell me that there's no way. In a city, a Grom works. Out here, a Grom is terrible. You can see why they sell so fast out this way. If you got to do any kind of traveling, a Grom sucks ass. Yeah, I don't know about CF Moto. This is electric. Yeah. And it don't have to be that. Let's see. I wonder what the CBR 1000 RRs look like now. Let's see. Images. Mm, a little different here and there, but not much. Yeah, that's old rest edition. Yeah, I remember looking at these. This is the one I was looking at. Let me be more specific. 2026 lineup. Shit's a good one. Yeah. Fireblade. What about the H2 I always hear everything about? The Kawasaki H. Yep. Damn. For a bike. It's track only model. It offers 300 horsepower. 200. I think shit's catching you. They actually kept the weight down on that. That's pretty crazy. Supercharged. Well, I bet that price is supercharged. Wait a minute. Why was the Kawasaki H2 called the Widowmaker? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess as to why it's called the Widowmaker. Let's see. Let's do price. That's it right there. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. And the premium H2, which is the track version, is $36,000. No, no, no. Sorry, no. That's the premium street one. The track only is $59,000. Holy shit! Oh no, no sir. Can you imagine the insurance you would have to pay would be so astronomically high just to even have this? I mean, at that point, if you're paying 40 grand for a bike, I mean, I guess insurance ain't a problem, but damn. Can you imagine what the rates are just to have one of these? Get the one with the bags on it. See, it's slow. It's a touring model. Mm-mm. Yeah, no. Let's see. But let me show you my favorite bike of all time, the FZ07. They should have the color model right there. That's it. I love this bike. It's so sharp. It yeah, right here. I used to have one of these as my screensaver for a long time. I love the sound of this bike. I understand the FZ09 exists, but I love the sound and the look of this bike right here. And Jake the Garden Snake, I saw a video a long time ago. He did one where he put spoke wheels on it. He did something to the suspension. Me personally, I'd probably do maybe a crash bar, on the side, and maybe a skid plate. But I'd put spoke wheels on it, take it off road. And of course, a different set of tires at that point. But yeah, I think that's what I would do. That way I could actually take it in trails if I wanted to. Be a street bike in the trails. This thing's got the power. I mean, don't get me wrong. That 700 still puts out. I think they do like 130 top speed. Not bad. The OZ09, I think, tops out at what, 140 something? I want to say, hey, what's up, Jack Fox? Going to a gun knife show in a bit. Just want to stop by. Stop by. Yeah, man, I've been good, dude. Look at the Honda Phantom. These ones look okay. Honda Phantom. Oops. Oops. Golly, I can't type for shit. Phantom. Sounds almost like a chopper in a way, right? Like the Furies. Let me see. Oh, it's like a 750 size. Yeah. So it's like the Shadows. Now they call them Phantoms. Okay. Yeah, the Shadow Phantom. Yeah, there you go. Like a 750 style. Me and my uncle looked at these years and years ago. Yeah. I don't know if I can go back to a cruiser though. I just don't know if I can do it. I had a Honda Shadow. It was a 750 2007 model, I want to say. And I liked it. It had a really good sound to it. It had shotgun exhaust on it. I remember that. Sounded amazing. But do these have a 6 speed now, or are they still stuck at the 5 speed? Specs. That's the better color for it. They were good bikes. Yeah, they were. That's the only thing I found that was wrong with them. They had a 5 speed freaking gearbox. Now the one I had was shaft driven. Downside to a shaft driven bike, you can't adjust the ratio. Now if it was chain driven, okay, I can adjust the ratio and be happy with it. But I was stuck at the speed I had. Oh, let me see here. 5 speed shaft drive transmission. See, that's the only downside. I'm not sure what kind of gearing they got in there, but it's probably going to be one of them things where if you're going 65, 70 miles an hour down the highway, wow, wide open. I can't do that. They still don't listen. Like, they listened on the CRF, don't get me wrong, the CRF 300L, I was floored whenever I had a extremely tall first gear. I mean, not tall, it's extremely short. Like a granny low in first, so you can go and kind of crawl your way through a trail if you wanted to without burning your clutch. And then when you hit like the second through fifth gears, they're kind of close, you know. But when you hit that sixth gear, it's like an overdrive. For once, they listen, you know, on the 300s. Well, on all their street bikes though, same story, man. They never do it right. They always keep the 5 speeds in them, and that just nerfs them. It pretty much sticks them to like towns and whatnot. You're not doing any kind of real traveling on it. Uh, Let me see. What was the one Honda come out with? Oh well, here. This is on Yamaha side. Let me see here. It was the '09. This was another one I was looking at. Way back in the day. Now these got some power. They actually do have power, and they actually have a button. They had a mode. I remember that, and you can adjust how you did the power. And I like the sound of them to a point, but to me, the triple has this trumpety sound, and it wasn't like a good trumpet sound. It had the almost borderlining a ricer sound, so you might as well just leave the stock exhaust on it. Which I don't know if somebody by now, at the time, again, when I'm saying all this, I'm going off of at the time when they first came out. There was no aftermarket for them at the time. So I imagine people have tuned them, have gotten the right exhaust for them now, so they probably do sound better. But at the time, people were just straight piping them and throwing like shit they had, like slip-ons and whatnot, and it just sounded so awful. Oh my god, it sounded awful to me. They were all like, "Oh yeah, that sounds good." Hearing it in person, it had that raspiness to it. Just sounded awful. Uh, what are these things going for now? 09 price. Go to all. 5 to 75. Okay, so that's not bad. Oh, never mind. Let's do do they still make them? Do they still make them? Yeah, so it's MT09, sorry. Damn, they want 11 grand for them? Jeez. What about the F-09? $8,600. Mm, I don't know. Because you're talking probably closer to 10 grand by the time it's all said and done. Because the dealerships are going to absolutely, in the ass when it comes to that. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks ass, man. Hmm. The TW200s. Price. See how high these still are. Look at this. Why? Why are they so freaking high, dude? Look at that. 5 grand for a 200 size bike. That has not changed since the 80s. Yeah, this is a fucking lie right here. Dealership pricing is generally consistent with the MSRP. My ass. No, it is not. Shit, destination charge. See, shit like this, dude. Like, the dealer fees. And they can make that up to whatever they want right there. So by the time you walk out the door, you're paying 6 grand at least. Probably more than that. Probably 62, 6,300 out the door for a bike that has less horsepower than a go-kart. That's what's crazy to me. And there was a guy who tried to do a long distance trip on a TW200 and realized that when you're screaming away on a TW200, because again, the bike does like 45 miles an hour. It's not going to go fast. It's geared low. He ended up actually burning up his bike. The piston ended up scoring up, and he had all kinds of problems. They're meant to go cross fields, to mountain goat up a mountain or whatnot, trails. That's what they're good for, man. But charging 5 grand for that. 5 grand. No, sorry. Let me fix that. That's MSRP. When you're paying out the door like 6,000, 6,100, 6,200 by the time all the obviously the destination charge, but the dealership fees and all that bullshit that gets tacked on. And then of course you got to have insurance before you leave the dealership, which that's probably not gonna be much. That's probably gonna be like $40 at the most. But yeah, yeah. By the time it's all said and done, got less power than a go kart. That's a 200. She makes like 14 horse, maybe less. Let's see. Oh, 16 horsepower. I was two off. 16 whole horsepower. $6,200. No. No, thank you. Cool bike. I couldn't pay that, though. And then the freaking aftermarket. Like, if you try to find one on Marketplace, dude, good luck. Good luck. Even the old ass ones, the ones from the 80s, the ones from the 90s and 2000s, the ones from 2010, they still want like 4 grand for them. No. No, no. Well, it's got 16 horsepower. I imagine you're not going far. It's only got 2,000 miles on it. 2,045 miles an hour screaming miles. Yeah, it's war. It is, and on top of that, if you do have 2,000 miles on it, you've been through some shit. Best way of putting that. Freaking TW200s, man. Why the fuck, man? I'd love to have one, but I can't justify the price. Like the live wires, right? Live Wire 1. I think they finally stopped making these. Yeah, they don't even make them no more. Let me see. 2026. No, they still make them. I'll be damned. But look at this. 17 grand. They're coming down. Yep. Because nobody's going to pay freaking 30 grand for a bare bones basic ass bike. Well, looky there. Yep. They finally got a brain cell. And yeah, even then, 16,000, I still say it's too much. But they are going in the right direction. How's about that? They are finally going in the right direction. When that price gets down to about, let's say, 12-ish to 13-ish, brand new, maybe 14-ish, I would say, okay, now we're talking. But that was so retarded, dude. Look at this. Let me go back in time. 2020 Live R1 MSRP 29,800. LimeWire. LimeWire is if it's anything like the torrents back in the 2000s. Shit's got me. Yes. Yes, dude. LimeWire is where you went to download music, and you also got viruses with that music. Anybody from the early days of the internet knows better. Yeah, anybody from the early days, that LimeWire was like a don't use that. Just sometimes just get a DVD. It'd be or not DVD, a CD. Yeah, I think I'll avoid the viruses. I'll just get a CD. We've had all too much experience. I remember my sister, man, golly. Oh my gosh, she was so bad about it, man. She would download all kinds of songs off of LimeWire, and I can't tell you how many times I've had to fix the computer. Like, dude, I can't tell you how many times. That's why we never kept no personal data or nothing on there. We always kept it just basic stuff, because there were so many times we had to fix that. Mm. Sat down and it sounded like it was hands like if you were getting ready for takeoff, I swear. Oh my god. Downloading. Shit. It was just a song. Now it's more. Oh my god. Let's see. The style hasn't changed really. I mean, they changed like a sticker, and this is a sticker, mind you. This is just a sticker. Anyhow, yeah, ain't nothing changed. It's all exactly the same. Well, how about that? Dog shit windows in me at the same time. Dude, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding, man. Oh my god, dude. Now when people say, "Oh my god, my phone's being slow," you have no earthly idea, my guy. You have no earthly idea what slow is. Dial up is slow. Oh shit, somebody called. Well, the OG Windows XP. Ah, man. So what are the specs on the new ones? Let's see. 2022. Oh, why did I delete all that? My bad. 2022. Livewire 1. Oops. MSRP. So mine, the 2022 I had. So yeah, they dropped down to 22,800. And again, dealerships, you're talking freaking 24 grand roughly by the time you ride it out of the dealership, taxes and all the other bullshit, right? So just astronomically high. I would not ever pay that. I got mine for 10, and it only had 400 miles. It was practically new, which is ridiculous. I don't know how anybody pays that kind of money and doesn't ride it. Let's see. Uh, hmm. Let me do specs. Let me do that for the 2026. We're gonna see what's all changed. Nope, still 100 horsepower, 84 pound feet of torque. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It boasts 146 miles. Same specs. Same specs. Ain't nothing changed. It does have DC fast charging. I think the new live wires, not the ones, but the new the Del Mar and the whatever the other ones are. Anyhow, I think they now have DC fast charging. Maybe when they first come out they didn't, but I think now they do. Anyhow, yeah, premium Brembo brakes. Anyhow, let's see. They boast that. Yeah, no. See, realistically, it's not even this. If you ride like a normal guy rides, like me, like sometimes you get out there and you play with it, you ride it, you just ride it like normal, right? You can kiss every bit of this bullshit right here away. That when they say 146 mile city, that is you putting around in city limits. Like you're barely going anywhere. You're barely getting on the throttle. You're using the lightest settings you got. 108 miles on the highway. If I head down the highway, I'm sitting at 50% by the time I make it 15 miles. 95 miles combined, that's the biggest crock of shit. I'm telling you, dude, I can go 30 miles and be sitting close to 50% on my battery. And that's riding like a normal rider rides. Now, this ain't this whole putting around shit. Where they get those numbers they're just putting around. They're easy, lightest settings, just not riding like anybody actually rides. That's what I'm saying. If they want to really test this, get a real person, somebody that's actually going to ride the bike like anybody else would ride the bike. Let's see. Yeah, everything's the same. Ain't nothing changed. But the price did, so at least there's that. They did come down. So I applaud them for that. They went down quite a bit too. I guess they realized not everybody's gonna buy it. And I know there for a minute they still had brand spanking new 2022s. Brand spanking new, ain't never sold. And they were dropping them down to like 14, I think, or 13 grand or some shit. Trying to get rid of the old stock. All right, what's next? Let's see. What bike should we look at next? Because hell, I've been out of the bike game for a minute as far as like looking up bikes. So we saw where the shadows went. Do they still make the Fury? Not the movie. Hold up. The Honda Fury. Wasn't that like a chopper, like a factory chopper? Yes, it was. Okay. Do they still make it though? They do. I don't know if I could. I don't know. Somebody was trying to sell one around here for a long time. They still ain't sold it. I don't think. I still see it on Marketplace. Let's see. Price. There we go. I don't know. I guess if you're into that. Let's see. Hmm. Shit. What was the one that Honda had? Was it Honda? Or was it Yamaha? It was like a 2000 plus cc bike. Um, Shit. What about a Boss Hoss? Hell yeah. Let's see. price. I already know the answer to this. It's astronomically high. But damn, wouldn't you love to have a V8? How much power does it have? Yes. How much torque does it have? Also, yes. Golly, and it's not just small blocks. They got big block ones too, man. That's just fucking nuts. Oh my god, dude. Now they got the LSs and shit, you know. Look at that. Fucking wild, man. Yeah, that's the big block one right there. America! Fuck yeah! All these foreign bikes, you know, they're like, well, we use, you know, these highly tuned and, you know, these precise engines. Anyhow, here in America, we just slapped a V8 on a bike. You straddle a V8 and you just hang on. America! Fuck yeah! Oh man, how's the handling? Well, it handles like you're riding a V8, you know. What do you care about handling? What's the mileage on it? None. It has zero. You're riding gas station to gas station. But yes, wow, we finally found something with less range than the Livewire One. How about that? Damn. Oh, that one looks sharp. Look at that. Leave, man. If I can get my hands on one, it'd be nice. Let's see. Let me for sale. All. Huh. Let's see. What's next? Let's see. Can they still make the Honda Monkey? Here, let me do this. 2026 Honda Monkey. Holy shit, they do. $4,400 MSRP. And it still looks the same. The shit still looks the same from way back in the day. Why is it so high though, man? There's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. It's so simple. And you want almost five. Well, it's going to be $5,000. It's going to be like what, 5,300 at least. No. God, dude. Oh man, dude, I can't justify the prices on some of these. The Trail 125. Now, I know they still make this. And you know what? They nerfed this one because why did they ever do away with the two-speed gearbox? Well, I mean by two-speed, I mean the high-low gearbox. If they had this motor instead of the 90, they had this 125 and they had a high-low gearbox, then I would actually consider it. You know? But again, you run into this. This is where I can't justify it. Right there. You're talking 55, almost. You're talking something that's inching closer to $6,000 for that. I can't justify that. Here, I'll put me up here out the way. See if I can actually see the bikes. Yeah. Let me see here. Let's go to Honda themselves. Power Sports, I think it is. Oh, there we go. Let's see, lineup. Where's the lineup? This is probably it, right? Search inventory. Any day now. Any day. Hello. No name's internet. Oh, hey, here we go. The Gold Wings. There's the 1100. I imagine not many of these get sold. It's kind of like one of them ones you kind of just kind of like look over, you know? They had that one that was a 700. I remember that, and it was automatic. But the Gold Wings, ooh, the prices. And that's base, you know? There's the Phantoms, the Fury. This is the best way to look at it. Hell, just look at all their lineup. There you go. The Rebel 1100. Okay, so the price on that's ridiculous. We got the Rebel 300. I had one of those. The 500. I think that's a really good in between bike. If anybody's just starting out, riding motorcycles, I would recommend this. This is you're not going to get tired of it like you would this one. This one right here, you'll get tired of it, bored of it fast. Everybody says go to a light bike, you're going to get tired of it. This 500 right here should be. It's not going to be like this. It's not going to be heavy like that. I mean, it's going to be just like riding this, just a little bit more oomph behind it. It's going to be smoother too, because this right here will vibrate the shit out of you. This right here, I mean, if you're a woman, you might be into that, but I mean, anyhow, this right here, it'll be smooth. And of course, you got the 1100. Now, yeah. Boy, are they proud of that. There's old six. I know where a 600 sitting right now. And those still got some ass behind them. Don't let those fool you. They still got some ass. The CB750 Hornet. E-clutch. E-clutch. What the fuck's an E-clutch? Let me go into some specs on that. What do they mean by E-clutch? Base MSRP. So that's almost tinker. Where the hell did I see the other price at? Hmm. So you got 3 models in this. Well, back here it said something different at this horn. I guess not. CBR 500. Why get the higher insurance for the same power? You might as well get that 500 right here. Same motor, same exact engine. Insurance is 5 times cheaper. Let's see. CB 1000 Hornet. Hey, why would you look at the price difference? It's not that bad. It is. That's a thousand. That's 1000 cc naked. Check that out. Hmm. That E-clutch thing. I'm about to look into that. That's what I clicked on, but it went to something else. It went to these. Because it's got a fairing, it's that much higher, it's got less power. What? CB500 Hornet, the CB300, the Crom. The only time any of these right here work is in a city. That's it. Maybe a trail, small bike, you know, whatnot. This right here, that'd be great if the price wasn't so high. There's the Navi. Now that's actually, damn, they went up, didn't they? Did they go up? They used to be cheaper than that, didn't they? I'll say I could have sworn they were a little cheaper than this. I might be wrong. I don't know. But I remember they had a really good price point. I mean, it's a scooter pretty much, but yeah, wasn't too bad for like somebody like commuting back and forth to work in a city or whatnot. That right there would work. The Africa Twin, that is a no go. Trans out. Let's check her out. What size is you? This ain't gonna go into detail, I guess. No, don't say where all that. Ah, there's a 750 right there. So that's automatic. X500. The XR650. The pig. It's the pig. There's a 450 that I can't justify the price on that because this thing takes so much maintenance. There's so much maintenance to compare to these, you know. The LS, the 300 LS. It's all still the same, pretty much. Just different colors. This is a good starting price for a. Well, no, it ain't. Hell, they went up too. Holy shit. A little ruckus. PCX. Metropolitan. 450. Now we're into like full on dirt bikes. They still make trial bikes? No shit. Oh, holy shit. Why is that so high? Holy crap. Damn. It's so basic. Anyhow, okay, we're gonna move on from that. Let's do let's look at Cowie's lineup. Let's see. Kawasaki. They do power sports as well. Uh Power sports? I guess so, yeah. Okay, let's do lineup. Motorcycle. Can we not look at all of them at once? Well, we know about these. Don't even know that. Street Ninja. Street Track. I can't just go into all of them. Here, let's just hit Ninja. Here we go. Okay. Oh, that's the electric one. God, shut up. There we go. Nobody gives a shit about the zero emission shit. But scares me. It's not bad for an electric bike. But let's specs and details. There we go. Jesus, I had to go through so much shit just to get the specs. Power. Oh my god, it's dog shit. Oh my god, it's dog shit. If they're saying 41 miles, you're getting 10 miles on that thing. 30, 30 pound-feet. That sucks ass. 5 miles an hour. Oh my god, it goes 60 miles an hour? Oh, get the hell out of that. Ain't no way. Hybrid. What the hell? Holy shit. The H2R is 62 grand. Hypersport, no shit. Their base model Hypersport's 30 grand. CX 1400. I have CX 1400. Shit. That's gonna have some oomph. Alright, let's see. Let's go to the Z series. What are we looking at here? They got an electric version of that. They got a ZH2, which is 21 grand. Specs. Power. 1000 cc pretty much. Let's see. Still pretty good. Almost 200 horse, 100 pound-feet of torque. Let's see. 6 speed, return shift, dog ring, seal chain, yada yada yada. We know all that. Pull full mounts. Let's check that out. And shows suspension shit. Okay. It's got some decent ground clearance for what it is. It's light. Still supercharged. Huh. The naked version of the H2. Yeah, hyper naked. Go figure. Okay. Retro Sport these. Huh. The Versys lineup. Nothing really to write home about. 20 grand for that. Holy shit. W 800. Can you imagine paying for an 800,000 motorcycle? It's old school looking, and they charge you for that. That's crazy. The Eliminator. Seven. It's $6,500, brother. See, look, you can look cool like that guy. Or that. Is that a woman? Yeah, it is a woman. Yeah. Or that girl. Look at them. They got a big smile on their face as they're riding this bike. Don't you want to pay $6,500 for it? Oh, yeah, brother. Authentic motorcycle design. Go back. The Vulcans. These are like the cruisers. Yeah, not much on those. I don't know if I can get back into cruising. I hate Honda don't make the Valkyrie no more. See, watch 2026 Honda El Valkyrie. They call it the Ring now, I guess, but it looks nothing like what it was. Yeah, see, it's not even close to what it was. Well, I bet the price is on up there too. Ooh, rare factory cruiser. Yeah, no. 15 to 25 grand. Oh no, they stopped making them. Yeah, that's what I figured. Then why the okay, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, they don't make the Valkyrie either anymore. That's what sucks. Hmm. Okay, now we looked up Honda, we looked up Cowie, now we need Yamaha. Jesus. Uh, Not an adventure bike. Need the power sports. Yamaha Motorsports USA products. Motorcycles for the road. Naked. Well, let's do Super Sport first. Shop inventory. There we go. No. Explorer. Let's try that. Okay. Let's see. I love their screens on these. They always had a really good beat. Oh, I hear a little pitter patter of feet. Is that my little man I see right there? Yeah. Okay. Well, Daddy's about to end all this. I'm gonna have to say bye to my one viewer on here. I know it. All right, y'all. Take it easy. It was nice hanging out.